and stopped multiple times since age 40, and finally at age 60.
Julius Erving was the first basketball superhero and the first player to transcend sport and infiltrate pop culture. He popularized dunking and became the first player to wear branded sneakers. How excellent was he? Why was he one of the most influential figures in NBA history? And where does he rank among the best basketball stars of all time? This is the truth. Julius Erving began his basketball career on the concrete playgrounds of Long Island, where he was born and raised.
To thank you for watching this video, we're offering you an absolutely free training webinar. Have you ever wondered how to end procrastination and self-sabotage so you can unleash your full potential to live the life you deserve? #1 best-selling author and high-performance coach Peter Sage is hosting a free webinar where he'll teach you how to increase your wealth with less time and struggle, and also how to hyper-boost your growth and success so you can finally break out of any rut you find yourself in. Right now, Peter and his team are offering a free $100 gift to anyone who doesn't find his webinar as the best use of their time within the last 5 years. Now, let's get back to the video.
It was in high school that he earned the nickname Doctor from one of his teammates due to his 6'7" frame, enormous wingspan, and some of the largest hands in basketball history. He also earned the nickname Claw from an announcer at New York's infamous Rucker Park. Because the NBA did not allow teams to draft players who were less than 4 years removed from graduating high school, Julius decided to join the ABA and signed a 7-year, $500,000 contract with the Virginia Squires in 1971, proving that leaving college early and playing basketball professionally was a good idea. The ABA's most talented player in his first season, Julius averaged 27 points, 15 rebounds, and 4 assists, earning him a spot on the second All-ABA team and a runner-up for Rookie of the Year behind Artist Gilmore. In his second season, he led the ABA in scoring with 31.9 points per game, and Erving realized he might be the best basketball player in the world for the first time. Dr. J was the most exciting basketball player in the world, but it wasn't until he was traded to the New York Nets before his third ABA season in 1974 that he received proper media attention. In his first year with the Nets, Dr. J led the ABA in scoring once again, leading his team to the best record in the league with 27 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. Erving was also awarded the ABA MVP. The Nets had the best record in the league the following season, and Dr. J was named league MVP again, but they were surprisingly eliminated in the first round of the playoffs despite Erving's stellar play. They would rebound perfectly in the 1976 season, when Erving led the league in scoring for the third consecutive season and won his third consecutive MVP award in the playoffs. Dr. J averaged 35 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists per game while leading the Nets to yet another ABA championship. 1976 was also remembered for the first dunk contest in history, in which Dr. J competed against other high-flying scorers at David Thompson, George Gervin, and Artist Gilmore. Despite stiff competition, Dr. J won convincingly after dunking 2 balls simultaneously and a free throw line dunk. Dr. J was by far the most popular ABA player and arguably the most popular basketball player on the planet when the NBA merged and he left the Nets after the 1976 season. He was the first basketball player to enter popular culture, and people who didn't know anything about basketball could learn about him from magazines, newspapers, and even comic books. The NBA, especially the ABA, had a crazy decade in the 1970s, with several clubs struggling to fulfill wage expectations and keep their franchises alive. The NBA didn't like the fact that the most popular player in the world was a member of the ABA, and they were afraid that others would follow. So the leagues did what had been predicted for years and merged.
To thank you for watching this video, we're offering you an absolutely free training webinar. How would you feel knowing that you could pay every bill you have right now as well as any future bills that come in? Commission Hero is a proven system that has helped over 8,000 people earn upwards of $1,000 a day or more. The best part is that there is zero experience needed to get started. In this free training, Robbie Blanchard and his team will teach you the top 3 secrets to how and why this system works, and how it can also work for you. Join the thousands of people who have found success and financial freedom using Commission Hero. Right now, the first 100 people to use the link below will get access to this free webinar. Now let's get back to the video.
Before the 1977 NBA season began, The New York Knicks demanded nearly $5 million from the Nets for invading their territory. Settling in Game 4 of a tight series, Irving made the legendary baseline move that would go down in NBA history. Despite Irving's talent, Johnson predicted that Magic would win out. The Lakers won Game 6 in Philadelphia, with Johnson starting at center in place of an injured Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, scoring 42 points to lead the team to the championship. The 1981 season was Irving's best individual year in Philadelphia, averaging 24.6 points, 8 boards, and 4.4 assists per game, earning him the league MVP award. The 76ers had the best record in the league, but they blew a 3-1 lead against Larry Bird. Irving was 32 years old at the time, and the team needed to make a change in order for him to win an NBA championship. In 1982, Moses Malone was named NBA MVP, but he was a restricted free agent by the end of the season. The Sixers offered him $13 million over 6 seasons, which was a fair price for the league's best center. However, the Rockets' ownership was stingy and short-sighted, and they declined to match the offer, and the news was welcomed as a second Christmas in the Irving household. Dr. J finally had a dominant center to battle the Celtics and the Lakers, and the only missing piece during his tenure was a dominant center to battle the Celtics and the Lakers. The Sixers finally looked like a championship team, winning 65 games during the regular season and securing home court advantage throughout the playoffs. Malone was named the league's MVP for the second time, and before the playoffs, Moses predicted that the Sixers would win the championship. Why does Dr. J prefer the Sixers to the Nets? Let's have a look at what he had to say. With all of its twists and turns, the Sixers' regular season had been their greatest since Allen Iverson led the team to the NBA Finals in 2000 to 2001. The Brooklyn Nets are one squad that may stymie a finals appearance. Julius Irving, who spent his entire NBA career with the Philadelphia 76ers and 4 seasons with the then New York Nets of the American Basketball Association, knows a lot about both teams. Dr. J was interviewed by Danny Green on the newest Inside the Green Room podcast, and Green asked Irving about Brooklyn's current super team of Kevin Durant, James Harden with Kyrie Irving. It reminds me of how the Yankees used to do it on a regular basis. They spent a lot of money. It's known as buying a championship. That's also something the Lakers are known for. They're going to get everything. They have no idea how they'll look or feel by the conclusion of the season, but they'll be formidable. You have a team with 6 former All-Stars and 3 All-NBA players who have played in the playoffs and triumphed. A healthy Nets squad is the favorite to win the Eastern Conference, but the Sixers will have a say in the playoffs. With this in mind, Irving predicted how the Sixers and Nets would fare in a prospective playoff series. First and foremost, the Sixers have a coaching advantage based on head coach Doc Rivers' experience, as well as Green's and Dwight Howard's championship experience, and Ben Simmons and Joel. These guys are great. They've been a part of what they term the process for several years, and I know that the process will always bear fruit. Confidence is represented by WS over confidence isn't cool, but confidence is. So, in my opinion, you should keep your confidence and go out and perform. Do fans still love him? Julius Irving and Allen Iverson hugged because they were presented to the Wells Fargo Center audience in Philly before their 2 teams faced off in Week 4 of the BIG3 season. Ice Cube, a co-founder of the BIG3, remarked, "It was fantastic to witness those 2 icons greet each other on the court. That moment between 2 players who had Philly on their shoulder for so many years really resonated with the fans." Dr. J dubbed the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection, and he led the 76ers to the NBA title in 1983. Irving spoke to the crowd of 12,435 with his retired number 6 jersey hanging in the rafters. He exclaimed, "You have no idea how happy it makes me to see all of you here. Philadelphia, you are my favorite city. I'm overjoyed to be here again." Dr. J was shown on the floor, complete with stethoscope and white lab coat, while Hall of Fame and 3-headed monsters, Coach Gary Crawford wore a t-shirt with a Dr. J shirt embroidered on it, calling it in homage. Ice Cube was Iverson's childhood hero. The hip-hop icon was referred to as Big Brother by Three's Company's player/coach, who also described the 76ers star who came before him. "He has always been and continues to be a huge supporter of my career. He's a wonderful person and a fantastic mentor." According to Iverson, "It was a tall order for me to fill their shoes. In those shoes, I had to basically put 2 feet in." The game in Philadelphia which honored the city's two most famous basketball players, was the Big Three's signature stop of the summer, as the fledgling 3-on-3 league finds its footing. The Big Three plays games in 10 cities from Brooklyn to Los Angeles. Do you think Dr. J is and was the best? Tell me in the comments. I will be going through all the comments. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, like, and let me know what you think about Dr. J in the comments section below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't and turn on the post notification for more.